Gonzalo Lira died because he was a chain-smoking, past middle-aged man who was not in the healthiest conditions, and sometimes that leads to death.
The Ukrainian insurance person's videos were not. Our boy Michael, who got kicked out of the armed forces of Ukraine, dropped the video. I'm gonna have to watch that because I still think there's an issue of depriving a U.S. citizen of their civil rights, especially if you're the member of a governmental organization, as an American citizen yourself. We're gonna listen to him. We'll see what he says. Oh, okay, yeah, here we go. Some words about Gonzalo Lira. We'll listen to this.
Relating to Gonzalo Lira. I'll begin by offering my condolences to his family and my prayers to them.
You helped put him in prison, brah. I don't think your words mean much right now. Just saying. Just saying here.
And to Gonzalo's soul, that they are able to find peace and Gonzalo is able to find redemption with the Lord now that he is no longer walking in this world. Everyone deserves to.
I'm pretty sure Jesus is like, I don't give a fuck what you were doing in Ukraine. Like, Jesus is like, I don't even like the whole holes myself. So like, I'm sure Jesus is like, you know, oh, what you did, Gonzalo, you talk crap about those Ukrainians. You know, that was so bad. It's like, I'm sure Jesus did say like, hey man, you know, you shouldn't have gone there and done the Darwin thing. But he's like, I get it. He's like, I understand.
You have eternal salvation, and it is my hope that Gonzalo has been able to find that now that he has passed on. As for the situation that led to his natural demise and natural passing, Gonzalo Lira was not a journalist. Gonzalo Lira was a would-be agent of the Russian.
According to you, his natural death, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have gotten sick and died if he was out on his own. I mean, like, this isn't like he died of old age. He died of maltreatment in a prison in the third world, which you helped put him in. And now it's going to be, he was a heckin' Russian asset. He deserves what happened. Ooh, screams the troon.
Government, this has been proven without a doubt, and it is clear in the testimony and in the evidence that was compiled by Ukrainian investigators. Speaking of Ukrainian investigators, I am not a member of the SSU. I am not part of Ukrainian intelligence. I was simply someone who had knowledge of Gonzalo's work.
Press X to doubt. You're in the pay of someone.
And actions dating from April of 2022 until recently. Ultimately, Gonzalo Lira chose to stay in a war zone, although he was allowed to leave. Gonzalo Lira decided to insert himself into a war on the side of the Russians. And ultimately, apparently, the stress of that led to a rapid decline in his health and ultimately his death by pneumonia. Again, the facts are simple. Gonzalo Lira was not a journalist. Gonzalo Lira was someone who pushed the Russian narrative at the expense of Ukrainian soldiers and accredited foreign journalists whom he tried to dox. Should he have passed on? Well, we don't know the human body and we don't know the human condition.
Oh,
I would have personally liked to have.
Oh, see that? Should he have died? Well, I'm not going to say. It's like, okay, Trunella.
Seen the trial come to a full conclusion. So he could have been convicted if that's what the judge would have decided, and the answers could have been clearer. Now, though, all we can know are the facts as they were presented in court, and the facts are simple. Gonzalo Lira was guilty of what he was accused of, and now he's no longer with us. And all we can do is move forward, understanding that war is a horrific experience, and that the sooner the Russians understand that they need to retreat back to their borders, and Ukraine will be able to return to the country's 1991 borders, including Crimea, and Ukraine can have the implementation of President Zelensky's 10-point peace formula.
Listen to that. It's got a shill. Even when it's about Gonzalo Lira, you got to shill the peace plans, which ain't happening because the Russians ain't leaving.
The more lives will be saved. And that's all I'll say about it. Again, much prayers and condolences to Gonzalo Lira's family. Take care for now.
And it looks like he did a second one. Let's see here. So there was one 3 hours ago. Then there's this one here. Let's listen to this.
Due to all of the commentary that's taking place surrounding the passing of.
Also, you notice, I guess the Ukrainian army took their wig back, their whole uniform from him. So, and Mike is looking very, very butch now. So, just something to think about.
Gonzalo Lira. I will reiterate the statement I made earlier that I hope Gonzalo's family finds peace and solace in knowing that Gonzalo is no longer suffering in this human form, and that he has gone on to.
Yes, he quit suffering in a Ukrainian jail.
Hopefully eternal salvation. I believe eternal salvation, thanks to the Lord. And it is something that we all strive for. We all should strive for the Lord's blessings and reconciliation with our Creator. However, I've been reading the comments over the last 8 or 9 hours since Gonzalo's death was announced. And I have to make a plain statement. The paranoia, the conspiracy that has surrounded the situation with Gonzalo Lira since April of 2022.
Here we go. We're going to get the truth clarification.
This new sort of fervor, this new passion of people who are talking about something that they truly don't know about and don't understand. Gonzalo Lira died of natural causes. No one murdered him, and no one went ahead and conspired to put the man in prison.
How do you know that?
April of 2022.
Really?
When he was released from custody the first time, he was not on any conditions of bail. He was given his passport back, and his statement about not being able to leave was a fallacy. He could have left.
How do you know that?
Instead, he chose to stay. And
how do you know that if you aren't part of the security services?
Increase his attacks against farmers.
You know a lot of information if you're not part of the security services of the Ukrainian government. How would you know all this? That's a lot to know. And I mean, listen to me, guys. I'm heckin' telling the truth. Granted, I grifted trying to convince everybody I was a woman, but I'm heckin' valid, y'all. Okay. This is before J.D. Vance. I threatened to kill J.D. Vance.
Foreign journalist, he chose to increase his attacks against the Ukrainian military, specifically soldiers. He gave positions away to those in Russia who were asking for it. He was asking for positions of the troops. Additionally, he attempted to make a deal for a potential television show.
He did?
In Russia.
Really?
This was a fact as well. And I spoke about some of his former, of his former allies over the last couple of weeks and discussed with them the fact that Gonzalo Lira was someone who was reaching out fervently for assistance in order to increase his importance to Russia. The facts, again, are clear. Ultimately, again, he is who he said he was, someone who was attempting to call out Ukraine on behalf of what he considered the right side. But he was wrong. He was supporting the enemy. He was doing it in a country under martial law, and he was doing it for attempted profit. Let's make no mistake about this. Gonzalo Lira attempted to profit from his work through Russian channels. This is factual, and this is something that cannot be questioned. Ultimately,
you cannot question it, says the man.
Attacks against me are ludicrous and ridiculous, especially those who are hiding behind anonymous names, threatening me not to come back to America. I am the proudest of Americans. I am proud to be from the United States, and I'm proud to be of the United States. If you've gone to unite the right, if you have gone ahead and pushed a replacement theory, then you are living in a paranoid world of hyperbole, a world of your own internal demons. When I have called for the closing and securing of the US border for national security reasons, you attack that. When I present as a male, you attack that. When I presented as a female, you attacked that. When you called me a progressive, you attacked me for that.
Yes, if you have shit positions, people will attack you for that. And then you're back, you're flip-flopping. Yes, you will get attacked for that. Funny how that works, Mike.
That when you call me somebody from the ultra-right, you attack me on that. For some reason, you have allowed me to nest in your heads and create this paranoia and conspiracy around me. The only fact about me that is necessary to know is that when I speak, I present the truth. When I speak, I present facts. I am simply an American who is proud to fight for freedom, proud to fight for democracy, and proud to bring forward the truth. And whether that truth is securing borders, or that truth is calling out Kremlin propagandists, or that truth is simply telling you that Gonzalo Lira died because he was a chain-smoking, past middle-aged man who was not in the healthiest conditions. And sometimes that leads to death, especially when somebody refuses to maybe ask for or get the necessary medical treatment. So ultimately, stop living in your delusional world.
Yeah, because it has nothing to do with he's stuck in a shitty third world prison. That had nothing to do with it. I mean, because people typically don't die in American prisons of this stuff. You know, you typically die in shitty prisons under shitty conditions. Just saying, Mike. I'm just saying. Just saying. I mean, I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
Stop living in your worlds of paranoia and let us all come together to understand that the external enemies, Iran, Russia, the Venezuelan government under Maduro, Nicaragua, the PRC, the Houthis backed by Iran, are the enemies. To continuously look at internal enemies, to fear internal conspiracy, doesn't do anything to make the United States stronger. If anything, it breaks down the fabric that has made the United States the most phenomenal republic and experiment in democracy since its founding. And if you can't accept that, you are the failure of the American public, not those of us who are fighting for it. Ultimately, continue to attack me, you will. It doesn't bother me. You want to try to kill me, you threaten me, come for me. This is not something I'm concerned of. I was in the Darien jungle last week. I'm in Tijuana now. I will be at Tecate tomorrow. You can come look for me. And I will come and go as I please into the United States, into the Americas, all around Europe. And you will not get me because you're cowards hiding behind keyboards while myself and others are out fighting to make certain the United States and all of our partner nations who believe in democracy and freedom continue to lead the way into the 22nd century and beyond for all that is good and great that we know
the 22nd
about
century
in mankind and freedom.
Oh, there's no salami Ukraine on that one. I still think there's something to be said about depriving of Gonzalo of his civil rights and conspiring to help others as a member of a governmental organization. I think there's got to be some sort of claim there. U.S. prosecutes people for things all the time, but we all know they won't do anything about it. So, but yes, I do love the argument of, oh, Gonzalo got what, because he was an old guy and he was a smoker. Okay. How many guys in his situation are dying in Ukrainian prisons every day? I know the answer is probably 0. Now, that said, though, do I miss Coach Red Pill because he was such a tour de force of intellectual prowess? No. Gonzalo Lira was adult. A complete moron. Let's not make any bones about it. He was a bit of an idiot. I do think that when Noel was talking about it today on Matt at the internet, that's interesting that, Coach Red Pill when they were both in Ukraine, Coach Red Pill, Null asked him for help, and Gonzalo kind of fucked with him. But that's kind of par for the course with Gonzalo Lira. He's a moron. That is what it is. And did he fuck around? Yeah, sure he did. But should the U.S. government have helped him once one of their citizens found out? Yes, and they didn't. And that's the problem here. They did not help him. That dude was, yes, the Ukrainian military through one of their like territorial forces or whatever, hired him, and he has the rank of junior sergeant, meaning he's a corporal, meaning he is a non-commissioned officer, which, there's some issue about if you accept NCO rank in a foreign military, can you lose your citizenship? It's not clear. So there's that. But yes, he then became a propagandist for the Ukrainian military. And then when J.D. Vance started asking questions, because he went on a complete lunatic diatribe about holding Russian and pro-Russian journalists accountable and all those he deemed as heckin' propagandists, J.D. Vance is like, whoa, what are we doing here? Because you're calling out American citizens. He called out J.D. Vance, and that, the Ukrainians realized that didn't look good because he basically called out a U.S. senator. So he was very quickly sidetracked. So also appears he was running a PayPal scam. Like, pay me and we'll get the Ukrainian military to buy some boats, some fishing boats, so they can cross a river. That didn't seem sketch at all. And now he claims that he's working in an unofficial capacity or working for the Ukrainian military, and he doesn't have to wear a uniform anymore. It's like, okay, I'm sure that's true. Whatever you say. Speed Coach's book will finally get released. That would be hilarious. Oh, that's so mean, but so damn funny. Yes, he'll finally release his book. The posthumous writings of Gonzalo Lira. Like I said, I don't think he deserved to die the way he did. I don't think he should have been in a Ukrainian prison, but there are some funny things about this at the end of the day. And I will say, I watched a little bit of the kill stream earlier today. Ethan Ralph was kind of talking a little shit about it too, but that's the sector give and the sector give and the sector taketh away. Yes, Coach Deadpill. Yes.